Get ready for Netflix's gripping new medical drama, Pulse. Set in a cutting-edge Miami trauma center, third-year resident Dr. Danny Sims is unexpectedly thrust into a promotion when beloved chief resident Dr. Xander Phillips gets suspended. Then, with the emotional and physical stakes at their highest, a storm will push the hospital and its residents to their limits. Witness how life can change in a heartbeat when you're operating under pressure. Watch Pulse, only on Netflix.
TaxAct knows filing your small business taxes can be a nightmare, like the kind where you're being chased by a giant W-2 form and you're running and running, but you can never reach the submit button. Or something like that. So, TaxAct offers Expert Assist with live tax experts to make filing taxes less scary. Now, you can just have pleasant dreams about being chased by other giant, non-threatening paperwork. TaxAct. Let's get them over with.
Our guest on this week's installment of The Next Move, presented by Coach Portal, is Bailey Granier. Coach Granier has been the head coach at the Masters Academy in Florida for the last 5 years. And today, he'll talk to us about setting goals. Coach Portal is a platform built to enhance your career opportunities as a coach. It helps you navigate the job market and progress in your career. Coach Portal assists in discovering new job opportunities for coaches, as well as getting coaches the exposure to other hiring coaches for open positions. Go to coach-portal.com and get in the Coach Portal to make your next move today. Use the code CCPodcast for a special offer. Here's Coach Granier sharing his insights on preparing your goals for the next season.
Hello, my name is Bailey Granier. I'm the head football coach at the Masters Academy, and today I'm talking about how to set your career goals for the season. Goal setting is incredibly important, and I think it guides our thought process in terms of where we want to go. An expression I love is that a man without a goal is like a ship without a rudder. You have to really know the direction that you're wanting to go. And goals come in a variety of areas. I'm a Christian head football coach at a Christian school. And so we want to set goals for our team in the different facets of life, because my belief is that student athletes should be developed from a holistic approach, not just as football players, but as young men and as disciples. And so in doing that, I think it's really good to be specific in terms of what area you're looking at. Are we talking about being a better young man in Christ? Are we talking about being a higher person of character? Are we talking about specific football skills? And to me, you have to, from there, understand the tangible parts in which, how do you develop that, right? To our growth. There's some strategies that you can definitely implement to be intentional about setting your goals, like setting SMART goals. SMART goals is a very common tool that people use to set specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals. I believe that, this is a way for you to specifically set out how you're going to do things. To measure, you have to have a metric for what you're doing. Sometimes you will measure things quantitatively or qualitatively. The quantitative measures are very tangible. You can see them. They're data driven, whereas qualitative are more based off how you feel and your interpretation of how you see the change in the things that are going on. They have to be achievable. You don't want to set a goal that's completely unrealistic for where you're at in your process. It has to be relevant. It has to be relevant to what you're doing. It has to be something that is an area of need for you. There's a couple thought processes in terms of your development and how you grow. You could either continue to build on the areas that you're strong, or you could look at the areas you're weak and try to fix those. My belief is to be well-rounded. And then setting a time-bound goal that forces you to accomplish things in certain periods. And so you need to have a timeline for what you're doing. You have to set this, because naturally we feel the need to procrastinate. It's one of the most common things. We live in a world that's full of distractions that pulls us away from our goals. So setting appropriate timelines throughout that can help us. Now, in terms of a coach, I think that you accomplish a lot of your goals, you accomplish a lot of your things as you grow, and you grow through a couple of ways. The biggest moments of growth that we have as coaches is when we face adversity. How are you going to handle adversity? How are you going to respond to it? Something I keep is a coaching philosophy. It's a 60-page document at this point that documents everything that I've gone through, how I've handled the situations, what I've done, what I would have done different, and I've reflected on it. I use that as a guide for my coaching as I move forward. Another way besides learning through failures and adversity is learning through professionally developing. There's so many tools between Twitter and YouTube, and there's so many things out there that you could use as a tool to develop as a coach that it's all at your fingertips at this point. If you're not using that stuff, you're really probably doing yourself a disservice. And I believe one of my biggest purposes is to continue to make sure that my coaches develop. So knowing your role within your goals is important too. And in my position, I feel that my purpose is to help our coaches develop to be the best coaches they can be, work through them to work then through the kids to be the best players and young men that they can be. You have to, again, setting these goals and being measurable about it, you have to track whether things are working or whether they're not. Because if things are not working, then you have to make adjustments. But if things are working, then you can continue to build on the momentum that you've created. And don't be afraid to adjust, because you're going to fail. Things are not going to go exactly as you planned it. You're going to have to be flexible. You're going to have to be malleable. And you just have to understand that those things are going to happen, and you're going to learn from them. One area that I want to focus on improving for next season is kind of back to what I started with, is developing young people as a whole. I believe that winning is a product of doing things the right way. And so we're going to win in the classroom, we're going to win in our character, we're going to win in our spiritual development, and we're going to win in all the things that are controllable. It's your attitude, your effort, your focus. Those are all controllable aspects of our life. There's so many things in this world we can't control. And one thing I love to say to our guys is, hey, control what you control and trust God for the things you can't. Another question I was asked is, how do I personally set and track coaching goals throughout the season? One of the best ways I do this is by creating smaller goals within the main goal. But our biggest goal is to get better every day, be better today than we were yesterday, and be better tomorrow than we were today. And that's something I set personally for myself. And it comes through a process of reflection and asking myself, did I do everything in my power to be the best coach I did today? Because what I don't want to do is leave with regret. I want to make sure that I've done everything that I could in order for us to be successful. The way that I measure and I track that is essentially by sitting down at the end of the day and assessing myself and saying, okay, what do I need to do differently tomorrow? How can I teach better? How can I learn better? How can I communicate better? Communication is one of the biggest things that we do. And I think it's something that is a skill and that most people have a hard time learning if you're uncomfortable about it. But being uncomfortable is when you grow, and having tough conversations. I was asked, what advice would I give to coaches who want to make sure this season moves them forward? Is just continue to whatever you do it fully. An expression that I heard as a young coach was to live full and die empty. And it really meant that you live every day and be the best coach you possibly can be every single day. So my advice is just to continue to push. Things aren't going to always go your way. You're going to experience setbacks, but there's also going to be times in life where you want something and you don't get it. And you question, like, well, God, why is this happening to me? But I do believe that we don't go through things, we grow through things. And that, like, sometimes we don't presently understand the plan that God has for our life. But it's not until we've been through it that we can look back and understand the why behind everything that we went through. I would encourage you guys just to do whatever you do it fully. Feel good about it. Don't live with regret, and trust that your why behind what you do has to be the greatest driving factor for your coaching. Thanks for listening. Again, I'm Coach Granier from the Masters Academy, and I appreciate your time and your growth. I would highly encourage you to check out Coach Portal if you're a guy that is looking to make the next career move.
Thank you to Coach Granier for his insight on setting your goals for your career. If you're serious about growing as a coach, don't wait until the offseason. Start setting goals now. The best coaches have a plan for their own development, just like they do for their teams. And when it comes to positioning yourself for the next move, you need to make sure hiring coaches can find you. Update your Coach Portal profile today and get ahead of the competition before job openings start moving. Go to coach-portal.com, enter the code CC Podcast, and make your next move.